The pain of transition is often the pregnancy of purpose. If it hurts, check again. You may not be dying, you may just be birthing. When you're going through pain, you are not being punished, you are being positioned. Purpose rarely enters with celebration. As a matter of fact, it enters with contraction. It enters with contradiction. Many times people misevaluate purpose because of the contractions that it comes with. Don't worship at the altar of pain. Don't define yourself by the contractions that brought forth your baby. Name the baby, don't name the pain. The most violent shaking often precedes the greatest revealing. Absolutely, there is indeed a place for pain in purpose. In fact, what I started saying to people recently is that the pain of transition is often the pregnancy of purpose. I have never seen anyone who came into a full realization of who they were called to be and didn't have to process that realization through pain. Because it's almost like pain empowers us to separate the noise from the substance. And when you're going through pain, you barely have enough strength to process anything that isn't really substantial in terms of your purpose, that it just makes what is real clear to you. If it hurts, check again. You may not be dying, you may just be birthing. So just check again. And I have been there several times in my life and several times in my journey where I felt like, God, this is going to kill me. And God is like, no, it's not going to kill you. It's going to multiply you. So transitions can be painful simply because they dismantle what no longer serves you. And this dismantling doesn't pick and choose. It can dismantle friendships. It can dismantle businesses. It can dismantle money. It can dismantle even your spiritual system, but it's within that pain that you begin to discover what is truly valuable to you and to your purpose. Take Hannah, for example. Hannah wept bitterly, to bring forth Samuel. But it was in her pain she shifted from desire to destiny. Before, she wanted a child so she could say to Peninnah and everybody, oh, I also have children. But the pain got so bad that she's like, forget about Peninnah. They don't even matter anymore. I want something that is everlasting. I don't just want children for the sake of children. I want to be part of a story that is bigger than me, that is bigger than Elkanah's house. And I think that's what pain does for you. It begins to help you reposition your expectation within the context of eternity, as opposed to positioning it within the limitation of time. So when you're going through pain, you are not being punished, you're being positioned. So purpose rarely enters with celebration. Purpose rarely enters with all the singing and laughing. As a matter of fact, it enters with contraction. It enters with contradiction, and many times people misevaluate purpose because of the contractions that it comes with. But the contractions are merely signals that a new day has come. So I think my thing is, don't worship at the altar of pain. Don't define yourself by the contractions that brought forth your baby. Name the baby, don't name the pain. So before a baby comes, the body breaks rhythm. So does life. Before the baby comes, you break the rhythm that you're used to. Everything that you once controlled, you no longer have control over. So the most violent shaking often precedes the greatest revealing. So when you're going through the most violent shaking, just know that you're about to discover something new about yourself, something new about your life, something better about your future. To be reawakened is of the Lord. Is of the Lord. A woman discovers something new about herself when she goes into labor. When she goes into labor, when she gives birth. Before the pain even comes upon her, she realizes that, I can be more. And this is pretty much what Isaiah 66 was saying. Isaiah 66 verse 7, I believe it says, before she goes into labor, she gives birth. Before the pain comes upon her, she delivers a son. What does that mean? It means that Even though it's painful, and sometimes we're like, God, why did you let this happen? God often signals us. We get a sense in that it's coming. It is actually never really a surprise. So handling pain and stewarding transitions is not about the present trouble. It's about making a culture of trusting the signals that heaven is giving to you, because before the labor comes, you already know that it's coming. So you give birth not only during the labor, but even before the labor, agreeing to go through the pain. So pain is often purpose in disguise. That's the way I see it. I will say to you, don't quit. Just interpret the contractions as a new day. Whenever the contractions come, I say to myself, I was like, heaven is counting down. Heaven is like, okay, 5 millimeters dilated, 8 millimeters. Oh yeah, she's about to bring forth. So I see pain as heaven's countdown, as heaven's system of declaring that she's about to come forth. So I'm just going to say to you, your tears may be your final push before divine unveiling. To be awakened to purpose is basically where you decode, transitions, and you bet realignment. So I'm just going to say to you, if you want to be able to learn how to steward your pain and how to bring forth the new day, join me in class. And I hope I see you soon. God bless you.